All right, guys, welcome back to the Philadelphia Union podcast. This is April 13th, 2018, and I just got done watching the Union take on the Orlando City, I should say. And well, before I get into their two most recent games, let me just start off by saying this, or asking this. Where is CJ Sapong? Where is David Accam? Where is Boric, Dutch Cal? Where are these offensive players of ours? Like, they've been missing all season so far. So I just want to know where they are. They're just not showing up, on the score sheet, where it counts. Now, with that being asked and said, let me jump into their most recent game, or not their most recent game, but the one before this one. Talk about the game against San Jose, which I didn't talk about in the first podcast because it hadn't happened yet. Now, San Jose game, again, another home game. So you expect them to go out there and win this game. Now, they showed a lot of offensive spark, I guess you could say. They were going forward. Pico, let's just note that he made his season debut in the game. He started after being suspended for the first 3 matches. He made an impact. He was, taking defenders on, and he was looking dangerous and, proven to be difficult for defenders to deal with. So he ended up getting an assist as well on the Union's only goal of the game to Alejandro Bedoya. So I thought he played pretty well. Accam had a great chance. He couldn't score. Pico had a header that he probably should have scored, but it was an unbelievable save by Andrew Tarbell, who had a career game, of course, against the Union, made like 10 saves or something. It was something ridiculous like that. So the Union were creating chances. I thought Matthew Real was whipping in some good balls there as part of that back line. I didn't think, the rest of the back line was okay. On the goal, it was more down to the midfield. I think there was one defender that was caught out of position during the time of the goal. Take nothing away from Eriksson's goal. It was a tremendous goal for San Jose. What a finish that was to beat Andre Blake. But where's the midfield? Medunian was jogging back after the ball turned over, didn't even seem interested in trying to come back and help. And that is one of our major problems defensively this year, is we have no midfielder that's in there to win the ball and just, think defensively. Medunian and Bedoya are not those kind of players. And that proves, in plays like that. There's just nobody getting back to help out our young back line, which is the youngest in the league, mind you. We need those veteran midfielders in front of them to, help them out a bit, and it's just not being shown here. We managed to tie the game later on with the Bedoya goal, but again, after that, we couldn't really create too much. I know Dutch Cal had a nice long-range shot as well in that game that was snuffed out by Tarbell. So we did get some shots. Let me take a look at the shots we did have on target. We had 8 on target there. Again, we outpossessed San Jose. Our possession stats are better this year, but it's just those aren't indicative of, the way the games are going, because most of that possession is in our own half, or, it's not in the final third or just outside the final third. It's in our own half, in the middle, not really creating, enough chances, gilt-edged chances. And the way we play, we just hit balls into the box and hoping for the best, basically. We're not looking to create through the middle. And again, I was saying, Accam, I thought he was going to score that game. He didn't. So, San Jose game, 1-1 tie. I guess a decent effort defensively after the 3-0 loss to Colorado. With a young back line, can't complain, just need more offense. So then, you look on the next game against Orlando, you think, oh, we can score some goals here. They've given up goals every game. They've leaked in goals, so it's a chance for us to, at home, yet again, to, get the 3 points and get some goals. Because at this point, we'd only scored 3 goals in the team's first 4 games, which, with 3 home games there, that's not good enough at all. So we went up against Orlando again. I just got done watching the Orlando game, so that's probably why I sound a little upset. So let's talk about the Orlando game. Now, we start off pretty strong. We were, showing good aggression going forward. But and David Accam had a really good chance to score, but he missed it. I can't remember if the game was 1-0 at that point or still 0-0, but Akam should have scored on a nice chance. He was in on the goal. I mean, he tried to go near post and just missed the target. It was just bad. Like, Akam has to put that away. I'm sorry. He has to score there. It was a great opportunity, and he blew it, really. But and the first Orlando goal, Dom Dwyer onside. I mean, of all people, Dom Dwyer scoring. He's one of my least favorite players in the league because he dives a lot, which he did later on in the game and got booked for it. And he's just not a likable player. I don't like the way he plays. Even if he was on the Union, I would find it hard to root for him. I'm not even kidding you. But hey, he scores goals at least, right? But he did score there, and Matthew Real, the young 18-year-old left back, kept him onside. He fell asleep. The rest of the back line stepped up. Matthew Real stayed in place, played Dwyer on, and Dwyer finished it. And just like that, 1-0. It was just, a young back line making a mistake. And on the second Orlando goal, yet again, a bad mistake. No pressure in the midfield. They turned it over. Like, again, midfielders not getting back to help out, but a bad miscommunication between Real and Jack Elliott. And boom, they're in again. Mueller scores on the mistake, 2-0. It's like just bad mistakes in the back. Like, this is what we had a few years ago with like Ken Tribbett just making mistakes. Just a back line that looked shaky. And I mean, you expect that from a young back line, okay? I'll give them that. We're young, I understand that, but still, some of these are just simple clearances, or just as simple as keeping a guy offsides. Like, you have to be more aware than that. And again, our midfield needs to help out too. They're just not getting back half the time, until it's almost too late. And we just kind of I don't know. Nothing else really happening. CJ Sapong not really getting involved too much. Akam substituted again. I don't know why. I have no idea why. He takes out Akam again. And you're just hoping for him to get his breakthrough goal so he can really get confidence going. But he takes him out and brings in Jay Simpson, who has done like basically nothing for the Union in his year plus with the team. It's not all his fault, but again, it's he's a forward and he's not scoring goals, so what good is it going to be? And we bring him in, and you think, oh, all right, so him and Sapong will go up top together. Finally, all these crosses were whipping in where nobody's there. Maybe we'll get to no. That's not the issue. I mean, that's not what happened. Sapong goes out wide, and Simpson goes up top. And I heard Taylor Twellman say something in the commentary during the game that I had been calling for a couple weeks now, and that's for Akam to go up top with Sapong, which I think they should do. I've been saying it for a couple weeks now to try and get him through the middle, get him those through balls past the defense. When the ball's turned over, we can play it through to him, and he can run off of Sapong's flicks and hold up plays and all that stuff. But no, they're still stuck on the one forward system. And then, so Jay Simpson gets a chance because I'm not sure who it was that whipped in a really good cross for him. I think it was Ilsinho, I believe, whipped in a really, really good ball later in the game when Simpson had come in right across the front of goal, and Simpson misses it, like just flat out misses it. Jay Simpson has to score there. Like, it's like Twellman was saying, it's easier to miss that chance, and it was. Like, I don't know how he missed it. He didn't even make contact with the ball. I was just left shaking my head, and Sapong slid in, but he was too late for it. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, how do we miss these chances? And that's like our whole game plan too, is to just whip these crosses in. So you think they should be expecting that, and that we practice that enough that we could finish some of these, but no, that's just not happening. Just a bad Orlando game, just horrible. We probably outpossessed them, which we did. Not quite as much as we did San Jose, but we did. Just 6 shots on target, though. I mean, Bednick made a few good saves. He made one on Pico, I think, in the first half. Jack Elliott was also substituted in this game for an injury, mind you. And Mark McKenzie made his MLS debut, another youngster. So our back line went from young to younger after that substitution. McKenzie looked okay. He looked pretty good. He had a few good passes. Wasn't really called upon to defend too much later in the game, but if Elliott can't go, he might be starting in the next game. So next to Trusty, just I don't know where the leadership is on the field. I need to see more from Dutchkel. I need to see more from Akam. I need Akam to be more aggressive. Times he looks aggressive. Other times he just floats away and just you don't hear from him. Sapong, I don't know, looks uninterested half the time now. And Medunjanin, let's say he had a horrible game here against Orlando. He was giving the ball away, getting closed down, and just was not involved in the game whatsoever. Wasn't breaking anything up in the mid. I mean, I don't know. It just wasn't a good game for him. I mean, pretty much the whole team didn't really play that well, to be honest. But we're shut out again. We lose 2-0 to Orlando, and that's 4 home games out of 5 to begin the season, and we have a measly 5 points. 5 points. 3 goals scored. 3 in 5 games. 4 of those games at home. 2 of those games at home we've been shut out. Like, what do you want me to say? This is terrible. This is uncalled for. It seems like the players are so complacent. Sapong, Medunjanin, Bedoya, a lot of these guys just look so complacent. Like, if they don't perform well, oh well. There's nobody to really back us up. There's no, accountability, it seems like, If a guy does, has some bad games, the curtain's gonna keep playing the same starting lineup. It's just like, unless there's injuries, that's what he's doing. And, he keeps bringing on Ilsinho and Jay Simpson all the time, and they aren't doing anything. I've been calling for Ayouk to play for over a year now, and yet Ayouk is nowhere to be seen in the 18 ever. And guys like Warren Creavalle are sitting there in the 18, and Jay Simpson, who's done nothing, and Ilsinho, who's getting up there in age. I know Ilsinho can create some things, and he did whip in a good ball in this game. Let's give him credit for that, but the stats aren't there for these guys. And I think we still need Derek Jones to start. Like, I would consider dropping Medunjanin from the lineup and playing Derek Jones next to Bedoya, so Bedoya can go a little bit more forward, and Jones will sit in that midfield and protect the back line, will win balls in the midfield, unlike these other midfielders are doing. He'll give us some bite in there, which we need. Yes, he's a younger player. Yes, he's another homegrown player, but he offers what we need in that midfield. He's the only player that we have in there that I wouldn't trust Creavalle to do that. I don't think Crevalle's that good of a player. He's not, horrible, but he doesn't really do anything really for me in the midfield. Like, I think Derek Jones was looking good last year, and I think he needs to get some playing time. They want to play these young kids, well, then go ahead and play Derek Jones and play some Medunjanin or something. I don't know. And Dutchkel needs to produce something now. It's I realize that there's some new signings in here, but we need to score some goals at home. This is sad. This is really sad. And they had a press conference before the game on Facebook or whatever. I was watching some of it and even commenting on some of it. They were talking about a mascot, a freaking mascot. Like, why are we talking about a mascot? I mean, I'm sitting there thinking, like, why are we not talking about us signing bigger players? What's going, why can't we play a 2-forward system, blah, blah, blah. And they're talking about a mascot. And then they answered a question about the formation. Ernie Stewart, I think it was, saying that they're going to stick with the formation. That there's, that's what they're going to do all season. Like, are you kidding me? It's not working. You got to change it. It has to change now. At least try it for a game or two. If it doesn't work, then you go back to what you think is the best thing. But I think they need to show more urgency here and play 2 forwards or something. Or maybe you go with a 3-man back line with all these injuries. Maybe you drop one of the young kids in the back line and play 3-man back and go with, wing backs or something. Or, I don't know. Maybe I don't know at this point, because we don't have a lot of depth, because a lot of our depth is just youth or players that really don't make impacts like Jay Simpson and Warren Creavalle. It's just, like I said, Ayouk needs to play. I want him to play, but he's not playing. I think he can make an impact, but again, I feel like he's not going to see the field at all this season, bearing a lot of injuries. But we're banged up in the back line now. We're young there. We're not getting goals. We have no forwards to look at after CJ Sapong, so he's not scoring. So what, Jay Simpson's going to score? No, he's not. Corey Burke doesn't really get enough time up top. When he comes in, he usually plays out wide. Yeah, I don't know. Where's the fire? Where's the passion in here? I mean, there's nothing. It's just too much complacency, not enough accountability, and the coaches too. Like, why are we not, like, Jim Curtin? Hello, like, what is he going to talk about this week in the press conference, in a post game press conference? I don't even know. I'm not even going to listen to it. But like, why are we not holding a fire to him? Because he's, as I said, I think he's a nice guy as far as I can see. You know, I have nothing against him as a person, just as a coach. I question a lot of what he's been doing, and it's been years now that he's been our coach, and nothing's changing. It's the same. It's the same results. It's the same kind of play. It's the same standards. It's the same everything. You know, nothing's changing, and that's what's frustrating me, and I'm sure it's frustrating a lot of you guys at home, all you other Union fans out there. You know, the stands are getting emptier by the game, and you wonder why. It's because the product that's on the field. That's what it is. Yes, we want to win, but you can't score goals at home. That's not going to attract anybody. It doesn't matter if you're winning or not. You know, you lose a game, 4-3 at home. At least the fans can be like, oh, we're an exciting team to watch. At least they know we're going to go out and score some goals and give ourselves a chance. You can't say that with this team. It's, we might not score tonight. Maybe we can hope for a 0-0 draw. Maybe a 1-1 tie at best. Maybe a 1-0 win if we're really lucky. It's sad, It's just really, really sad. I mean, I admire the building with the youth. Okay, you want to play young kids. You want this to be a club where young American players can play. All right, well, you also need to drive results, because young kids aren't going to want to come here into a losing culture. They're not going to be like, oh, well, this team never does anything, and they're never televised. They're never in the playoffs. They never win a playoff game. Why do I want to go, play over there? Our young DPs aren't going to want to come play here. So we go after a loan move for Borek Dutchkow, who's a 29-year-old, attacking mid, thinking, okay, that's what we need. I think maybe they should start thinking of signing a young DP with a potential really, really big upside to him, like a Hector Villalba, like a Jesus Medina, like a Kaku. Those kind of players that other teams are signing that are really making huge impacts. Those kind of like South American players, with a huge upside and talent, like Barco as well, and why can't we look for players like that? So we're getting a season-long loan for Dutchkow. So what? When the season's over, he's gone, then what? Our number 10 position is now vacant again. I know we have Fontana, but he still needs to develop some. He's only 18 years old. I mean, the kid scored in his first game, and now he can't really see much more playing time. I think, why not play him again? Why not put Dutchkow back on the bench and play Fontana? At least he scored a goal. It's just very frustrated. You guys can tell I'm very frustrated. This is like literally right after the Orlando game ended. I'm doing this podcast. Just because I want to make sure everything I need to say is still fresh in my mind, because I do have a lot to say, and I think this team, this club, needs to have some more accountability for their players and their coaches. This is just, I mean, I love this team. I'm not saying all this to mock them or to make fun of them or to say, or just to be angry. This is because I care. I care about this team. I want this team to do good. This is why I'm showing so much passion. I care about this team. I want them to succeed. I'm trying to just voice my opinion and try and help and just see what can we do here. I mean, I can't do anything as a fan, as a guy on YouTube or, just doing podcasts, I don't even know how many people even listen to these or will end up listening to these, but there's nothing much else I can do but just try and keep voicing my opinion and see if, there's other people can hear it. Maybe we can all, I don't know, just continue to spread the word, and just hopefully management will hear what we need and realize what they're doing isn't working right now. I'm willing to be a little more patient with the youth. Obviously, you have to be. But that's not really what I'm bothered at right now. It's not the youth. You know, I understand the mistakes, but it's the guys like Sapong, Akam, and Dutch Cow, Medunjanin that we're paying the money, and guys that are supposed to be producing that aren't producing. You know, and we're throwing so much pressure on this young back line right now, on our youngsters to produce. It's like, well, don't worry, we got our youth. We're gonna play them, and they're gonna develop. Well, you're throwing so much pressure on them right now, because the other players aren't producing, the veteran players that we're spending money on. I don't even know who we're playing next. I'm a little scared to find out who we're playing next. I'm pretty sure it's a road game. I mean, we've already played 4 home games. This is absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, I'm about to probably go read some comments by Union fans and stuff. We're going to Dallas next in a week. That's not going to be an easy game. Dallas, you know, they haven't been very leaky on back. We might not score in that game either. They've got a lot of creative players up top too, so not feeling very confident about that one right now. Just, we need more accountability here in the Philadelphia Union. You know, just hold players, hold coaches accountable for not getting the job done. Bring in some of these other players on the bench or whatever that might. Bring in Derek Jones. Bring in Ayuk. Bring in Fontana. You know, what else can go wrong at this point? I mean, you're already losing fans in the stands. You're losing tickets. I mean, it was frustrating to watch these last couple games. This whole season so far has been very frustrating. Just that final product isn't there, and mistakes in the back, and just, I don't know. I'm hoping this season turns around. I still have a bit of optimism with players that we have, like Akam. I'm hoping that he can start getting it going. CJ Sapong can find his form and start scoring goals. But so far, we've shown no evidence of that. And Dutch Cow right now is not looking like a very good signing. He's had his moments. I know he's still early on into his career here in this league, but he has experience playing in Europe and even in, I think he might have even played World Cup for Czech Republic. So he's going to have to produce. That's what we got him for, to produce. Now, I know I sound very angry and frustrated throughout this podcast. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to say what I feel right now. I'm trying to show the passion that I have for this team. And if you guys happen to listen to the podcast, no matter how you do, maybe you just stumble across it or something, or whether you're searching for Union podcasts or something, happen to find this one on YouTube, go ahead and leave me a comment there. You know, I'm happy to respond, whether it's good or bad. You know, maybe you guys think I'm being too harsh with some of the things I'm saying. Maybe you guys agree with me. I don't know. Or tell me what you think of what's going on with the Union so far this season. I'd love to hear what you guys have to think, and I'd love to bring it up too in future podcasts as well. But as I close out this second podcast here on April 13th, I want to say thanks to everybody who is listening, who does check out these podcasts on my YouTube channel. I appreciate the listening and the view, and I can't believe you guys aren't sick of my voice by now after 15-20 minutes. But seriously, guys, thank you for this, and to all the Union fans out there, I really hope that this team can get it going. I'm hoping for a much more positive podcast on the next one after the Dallas game, so hopefully we'll have a happy podcast then. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. Till next time, 0 is the number.